You spend your whole life hearing that all it takes is to want something. That if you wish for something strongly enough, it will happen. People tell you to visualize, to write things down, to repeat affirmations. But no one taught you what truly makes reality respond, because desire alone has no power. What creates your reality is not what you want, but the identity field from which that desire originates. And that is why so many people live in frustration. Because they deeply want change, dream of something better, visualize a new path, but they keep receiving the same patterns from life. Not because they are not trying hard enough, but because they are still operating from the same identity as before. There is an invisible mechanism that governs what you experience, what you attract, and what you hold on to. And that mechanism is not found in your conscious thoughts. It lies in your most silent vibration, the one that comes from your self-concept, what you believe yourself to be. Because it does not matter how much you want something. If deep down you still see yourself as someone small, someone afraid, someone who needs to earn love or abundance just to feel complete, then that is the signal the field picks up. That is the signal the universe hears. And it is from that signal that your life organizes itself. Desire is only the spark. But identity is what lights the fire. The quantum field does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you are already being. It is like trying to tune into a radio station. If you are not on the right frequency, all you hear is noise. The content already exists, but you cannot access it because you are on the wrong channel. The same is true for your reality. What you desire already exists in the field of possibilities. But if you are still vibrating from a limited, disconnected, or conditioned self, that reality will not collapse. You keep spinning in circles, reliving the same things, wondering why nothing changes. Because it is not wanting that governs, it is being. And the most dangerous part is that this being is not what you think rationally. It is what you vibrate automatically. The internal image you carry of yourself, shaped by years of conditioning, inherited beliefs, emotional wounds, and patterns you learn to repeat. That is your true signal. That is the point of origin for everything that manifests around. Reality is not punishing you. It is simply showing you, with absolute precision, who you are being right now. And until that who changes, your desires will remain just scattered ideas in the air. Your reality is not delayed. It is simply in perfect coherence with the field you are emitting. And if you look closely, you will notice. Every time you try to force reality to align with your desires, it resists. But when you quietly shift who you are without effort, without struggle, without desperation, it begins to reorganize itself on its own. This is not magic. It is energetic coherence. That is why the first step to changing your life is not to desire more strongly. It is to honestly look at the identity from which that desire is coming. Who is asking? Who is visualizing? Who is writing goals in a notebook? Is it a version of you that believes it is worthy? Or is it still a version that is trying to earn love and value to fill an inner void? The field does not judge. It simply responds. And as long as there is a misalignment between what you want and what you believe yourself to be, the response will continue to be confusing, unstable, or non-existent, because desire is a request. But identity is what signs the contract with reality. Few people realize this, but there is a subtle and powerful difference between thinking about who you are and living from who you believe yourself to be. That difference changes everything. Your self-concept, that is, the inner image you carry of yourself, is the silent filter through which all of your experiences are interpreted, chosen, accepted, or rejected. It's not something you consciously see, but it's what determines whether you say yes or no to life. If you see yourself as someone who struggles with money, it doesn't matter how much you want to prosper. You will sabotage opportunities, avoid risks, and say, "That's not for me," when abundance comes knocking. If you believe that healthy relationships don't exist, you might dream of a full and reciprocal love, but you'll continue attracting emotional scarcity. And the cruelest part is that the universe is not denying your requests. It's simply responding to the frequency your self-concept constantly emits. Because it's this silent concept of who you are that governs your decisions, reactions, emotions, and behaviors. And all of that together is what forms your vibrational field. Your self-concept is the primary emitter of your signal. It is the root of your frequency, the origin point of your current reality. It doesn't matter how much you try to change your life on the surface. If the image you carry within yourself is still rooted in lack, fear, or limitation, the signal will remain the same. It's like wanting a mirror to reflect a new image without changing the way you position yourself in front of it. The field is that mirror. It only returns what you emit. Life does not respond to what you consciously desire. It responds to your unconscious vibration, the one born from your deepest and most repeated concept of who you are. And the truth is, most people have never taken a moment to truly observe this concept. They live reacting, trying to control outcomes, striving to improve, but never investigating the origin point of it all, the inner image from which everything begins. Who do you believe yourself to be when no one is watching? What do you silently expect from life? What kind of outcome do you assume, even without meaning to? How often do you sabotage yourself without understanding why? All of this is born from your self-concept, and that concept is not fixed. It was shaped over the years by words you heard, traumas you experienced, patterns you repeated. But the good news is that just as it was programmed, it can be reprogrammed. And this shift doesn't happen through force. It happens through presence. You begin to change your field when you choose to observe, with radical honesty, the origin of your pattern. And you begin to dissolve that pattern when you choose to remember a version of yourself that existed before conditioning. A version not shaped by fear, lack, or rejection. A version connected to what is true, light, and abundant. That is your center. That is your original signal. The self-concept that attracts a new reality is not the one you force. It's the one you release. It's not about convincing yourself that you are powerful, wealthy, or loved. It's about removing everything that made you believe you weren't. Your field does not need more effort. It needs coherence. And coherence begins when what you think, feel, and vibrate align with the highest image of who you are. When that happens, the universe responds. Because the vibration that comes from someone who remembers who they are carries a power that cannot be faked. It emanates truth, and truth is the clearest signal the field can recognize. If there is something that silently transforms lives, it is the realization that you are not simply living experiences. You are constantly emitting signals, and these signals, even if invisible, shape the kind of reality that manifests around you. The frequency you carry within works like a vibrational key, and that key opens or closes doors, attracts or repels people, connects or disconnects paths. That's why you sometimes wonder why something isn't happening, even when you're doing everything you can, but the issue isn't in the action. It's in the frequency behind the action, because it's not about what you do. It's about the field from which you do it. You may be saying yes, but vibrating fear. You may be seeking love, but transmitting lack. You may be asking for change, but radiating resistance. And the universe, which does not respond to words, but to energy, aligns with what you are emitting, not with what you are declaring. This explains why two people, with the same background, same opportunities, and same level of effort, end up with completely different results. The difference is not external. It lies in the vibrational field each one is feeding daily, often unconsciously. And that field is built through small internal choices. By how you wake up, by what you think before you sleep, by what you believe you deserve, by how you react when something goes wrong. Your frequency is not created in a single ritual. It is shaped by consistency, by presence, by self-awareness. And what's most interesting is that this frequency not only attracts what is in tune with it, it also filters out what isn't. In other words, you may be surrounded by incredible opportunities, but if your frequency is incompatible with them, you won't even notice. It's like being in a room full of music, but with your ears covered. The music is there, but it's not accessible to you. And what happens to many people is exactly that. They think they're unlucky, that the doors are closed, that the universe is ignoring their requests. But in reality, they're just not vibrating on the same channel as what they want. They're trying to enter a frequency without changing their own tuning, and tuning cannot be forced. It is cultivated from within through daily choices that elevate your state, that clear old noise, that dissolve layers of fear, shame, and guilt. Every time you change the frequency of your presence, reality begins to rearrange the pieces. It's not magic, it's energetic coherence. And coherence has power, because when your body, mind, and energy begin to emit the same signal, clear, stable, congruent, the field naturally responds. Different people show up, doors open more easily, coincidences become frequent. But all of that is not the beginning, it's the reflection. The beginning is within. It's in the silent decision to change your vibrational point of origin. It's in the moment when you stop seeking outside and start transmitting from within. And that doesn't mean life becomes a bed of roses. It means you align with more authentic flows, with situations more coherent with your new version. It means you stop forcing what no longer matches who you've become. And you begin to attract what vibrates at the same frequency as your essence. From that point on, the external world stops being a battlefield and becomes a field of mirrors. It doesn't attack you, it shows you, it reveals you, it reflects you. If your frequency is fear, it will seem threatening. If it's love, it will seem welcoming. If it's doubt, it will seem confusing. If it's clarity, it will seem fluid. Life is the canvas, but the brush is in your hands. And what defines the colors you use every day is your internal vibration. That is the power no one teaches, but everyone carries. Pause for a moment. Forget everything you wish would change. Forget what you desire, what you visualize, what you write down on your list of goals. Forget even your dreams, just for a few minutes. Now look around. Observe your routine, your relationships, your results, your bank account, your emotional health. Notice everything that is real, visible, present, not as judgment, but as a mirror. Because all of it, directly or indirectly, is showing you who you've been vibrationally. Your external reality is a reflection of your internal field, even if that's uncomfortable to admit. And this is the part most people avoid. Because it's easier to blame the world, the government, the past, or the circumstances, than to recognize that we are collapsing experiences based on signals we didn't even realize we were emitting. But being honest with yourself is liberating. Because when you acknowledge that your current reality is a reflection of your past vibration, you also understand that you can change your future reality by shifting your present vibration. This is energetic sovereignty. And it begins with one simple question. What is my life trying to tell me about who I've become? Maybe your life is showing you that you've been playing small, that you still carry beliefs of scarcity, unworthiness, or that you need to prove your value. Maybe it's showing you that you fear rejection, and so you sabotage yourself before even trying. Or perhaps your life is revealing that you're ready to expand, but you're still holding on to habits, environments, or people that no longer match the frequency of your new self. Consciously observing your reality is not punishment, it's a portal. Because everything that appears on the outside is an invitation to look deeper within. It's as if the field is saying, here is your frequency, manifested in the form of experience. What do you want to change from this point? And from that question, true power is born. The power to see yourself clearly, to take ownership of what you've been vibrating without realizing, to release spiritual masks or superficial techniques, to simply face the reflection without drama, without denial, without guilt. Because this is not about blaming yourself. It's about taking responsibility. If your life feels stuck, what within you is still holding back? If your life feels chaotic, what within you is still fragmented? If your life is flowing, what within you has finally come into alignment? Reality doesn't lie. It translates. It simply reflects. It materializes in concrete form what you continuously sustain as vibration. And when you truly understand this, you begin to use the external world as a diagnostic tool. Every experience becomes a clue. Every repetition becomes a warning. Every pain becomes a reminder. And every lightness becomes confirmation. You stop reacting to life and start interpreting the signals. You begin to notice the hidden messages behind each event. And then something extraordinary happens. You step out of the identity of the victim and into the identity of the creator. Because the creator doesn't deny what she feels. She observes. She learns. She transforms. The creator understands that her vibrational field is her energetic signature. And she consciously decides to rewrite that code, not with pretty words, but with coherent decisions. With energetic habits that support the new version. With daily choices that shape the new frequency. With full presence that replaces autopilot. This exercise can be done at any moment. You just have to pause and ask, what is my reality revealing about me? What patterns keep repeating? What results always seem to get stuck at the same point? What areas flow with ease and why? When you ask these questions, you activate a new level of awareness. You move out of the mind that wants and into the soul that observes, and the soul doesn't judge. It simply recognizes. And where there is recognition, there is the possibility of change. What you see now as you look at your life may not be exactly what you want, but it is exactly what your frequency has been sustaining. And if this was created by you, even unconsciously, then now you can create something new. Intentionally, consciously, energetically. The choice is yours. So now you know, there's no use trying to convince the universe with pretty words if deep down, your vibration is still aligned with scarcity, doubt, or fear. Reality doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you truly believe you deserve. It mirrors your energetic field. And your field is shaped every single day by the version of yourself you choose to embody, through your actions, your emotions, your reactions. There is no manifestation without identity. There is no reality shift without coherent frequency. And there is no quantum leap without awareness. That's why the question is no longer, what do you want? The real question, the one that changes everything, is, who are you being while you want what you want? Your identity is the root. And if the root changes, the whole garden transforms with it. If this message resonated with you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because here, we don't chase reality, we learn how to transmit it.